What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the SpookyCast. Alright, so today's topic, we are talking about our own personal scary encounters.
I definitely have one, and it's the story between us three, remember?
Oh, God.
So, I actually do have the Snapchat stories from this, too. And basically, it was we were location scouting, and it was super late, or really dark outside, and it was for a zombie episode. And so, nearby where Michael lives, there's like a little sewer area. So we went down there. And as we were exploring down there, it got even more darker. And so we eventually got our phone flashlights on. And we were just walking around. All around us were graffiti, And then it was like so weird because there were messages left behind by other people. And reading those just really made us feel really uneasy, We got to this open area, and I heard Michael from next to me say, "Bro, what is that?" And then we just all looked forward. And basically, there's like this weird-looking figure thing, And basically, it had like these long legs, it has these long arms, and it was headless. And so we just looked around, we were like, no way, that can't be anything, right? But then as we slowly kept walking forward and looking at it, it slowly started to move. And it moved towards us. And then it moved faster, and then we were just like gone at that point. I remember Michael said some ghost in my ear that's haunted both of all of us. And so after that, we just dipped. And the funny part was, right after Michael said the name, which is Bong Chong Dong Ghost, I was already gone. And then Michael turned to his left and saw Gabe, and he just dipped too. And then, Gabe was just there left alone. And he was like, wait up, guys.
Terrible.
And the funny thing was, Michael told us this, but, he was, running. And then he saw Gabe, run past him. And he's like, wait for me, guys.
It was terrible. Yes.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Then we went back the next day, and it turned out to be a bush.
It was a bush sticking out the sewer.
Sadly.
That we thought was a figure from a distance.
Sadly.
Clowns.
Yep.
Dunk, dunk. I need a sound effect like that. Dunk, dunk, dunk.
Well, I have a scary story as well. So, I don't know if you guys have been to this. There's this lake in Dallas called White Rock Lake. And it was said to be known as, kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
And there was this thing called Lady of the Lake.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, I know this story.
And we were there, I wouldn't say late at night, but it was, dark. And we were just chilling. It was me and a couple of my friends walking down the lake, around the path in the lake. And we were walking, and then, my friend got this really weird feeling. And to this day, I don't really know. He didn't really explain what it was, but he said he was just feeling kind of weird. And our car was parked in this parking lot, right? And then he looked across the lake, and he thought he saw somebody. And then when we looked over there wasn't really anybody. We thought he was just tripping. And then he said he saw that person again, and we're like, nah, bro. And so he started getting sketched out. So we're like, all right, we're about to dip. Because he didn't really want to be there, and we're like, we needed food, we're about to dip and all that. And we get into our car, and we're about to put some stuff in our trunk. And we open up the trunk, and the trunk is wet. Puddle, wet. And there was nothing in the trunk. So...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
No.
Leads me to believe that...
That lady was crying in the trunk.
Yeah. Either that, or I spilled some water. There was no water in there, though.
That is creepy. Ooh, I have one real quick.
All right, go ahead.
I have one, and it's for some reason it's always with these dudes. It was one night. I think it was a school night or a weekend. I forgot what it was. I think it was a school night.
What story was it?
It was the Kane story.
Oh,
yeah.
no!
So, we were in our car. We were in our car, and so it was raining outside. Completely dark. Very few people inside Kane's. You could tell it was getting towards like closing hours. The parking lot was almost completely vacant, and the car was right there. So, we had parked the car, we went and ate Kane's, we were chilling for about like 30 minutes, came back out. I sit in my car, the car felt weird to me. I was like, what's this feeling? It's like, I don't know, it feels off. So I start the car, it goes, starts clicking. I'm like, okay, so something's wrong with the car. I keep trying to do it, and it's not working. So I get out of the car, and I open up the trunk, because my dad taught me this remedy how to, clean the engine, the clips. And there was nothing wrong with the clips. I'm like, okay, so what's wrong with the car? I sit back in the car, go like, dude, what's going on? Try to start the car again. It doesn't work. I step back out. Then as I'm looking at the engine, I notice on the front mirror of the car, the front window, there's this weird looking shape. And I go, they hear me muffled from outside the car. I'm like, guys, you see that? And they look, and there's a handprint that doesn't match any of our hand sizes on the car front window. And I'm like, okay, let me just wipe it off. Someone must have been childish and, did whatever. I go over to the corner where the handprint is like a little baby handprint. Literally about this big. I take my hand and I wipe it. As I'm wiping it, my heart drops because I realize that the handprint isn't on the outside, it's on the inside of the car. So, I go back in the car. I say, Spencer, I need you to do a test for me right now. Wipe it. He takes his hand, takes 3 fingers, wipes across the handprint, and it wipes clean off. We shut the car doors, dipped back in the Canes looking like idiots, and sat there huffing and puffing. And I tried to tell my dad, he didn't believe. He said, it's probably one of your handprints. Like in every horror movie, the kid tries to tell their parents, they're like, come on, Jimmy.
Yeah, and it was raining too.
It was raining. But it's like, it was a wet handprint on the inside of the car, the shape of a baby's hand. And the car doors were locked. To this day, I don't know how it got there. Scariest thing I've ever experienced.
Don't forget about the face.
Oh yeah, there's a face too.
There was a face print on the car too, like a kid had smushed their face into the window. But
Also on the inside.
Nah.
Also on the inside.
Nah.
Do you want to go?
All right. So this took place in Waxahachie. Waxahachie. This is with the family, Michael, my sister, mom, and dad. So basically, we went to Waxahachie. We went around, and apparently Waxahachie was a ghost town. So we decided to go to this restaurant. And Michael heard many things about the restaurant. Apparently, it's been haunted by a ghost. So we all walked in there just to go in to get something to eat, just to chill in there. Everybody seemed perfectly fine. But as soon as we all walked in, we all had a heavy feeling in our chest. And that was the presence of a ghost. So we all walked out immediately and exited. And we're on our way to walk to another store. And by the time we turned around, we saw this black cat walk by. How convenient. A black cat walked by. And as I was walking by, the store was right here. It was about to turn, but then it jolted immediately because it detected the spirit. So, well, another thing too is that we heard people told us that there was a factory that had been burned down more than twice from a ghost because people visiting there and whatnot. And also, literally right next to the restaurant, there's this other complex building.
It's an old bank.
It's like an old bank. Old bank. Basically, that place was that like Bonnie and Clyde?
It was like Bonnie and Clyde. Someone had come to a face and safe and shot it. I think someone got killed there.
And then if you look up in the window, there was a face literally right there.
Yeah. Creepy.
And that's it.
Next.
Josh?
Man, it's not much of a story than it is a dream, but I don't know. That's like the scariest dream I've ever had. And ever since then, I've been kind of shooken by it. I've always had trouble with sleeping for as long as I can remember. Just nighttime in general. I was scared of the dark like every other kid, but it seemed like so much more intense to me. Even to this day, I struggle with my fear. I pray over the house so much. I think more than anyone else in my family just when I go home because I can't always help that there's a feeling of somebody's watching me. So this particular night, I had experienced sleep paralysis for the first time after I finally fell asleep. But I didn't know what it was while I was in the dream. But it was a really intense dream. What happened is I kind of dream in live action camera, if you will. And basically the camera was on the face of this old woman. And she had a hat on with a flower on it. I think it was green. The lighting was really dark and really shadowy, so I couldn't see her eyes. I just saw the nose and the mouth, and she was a white Caucasian old lady just staring straight into the camera. Then after a minute, the flower on her hat started to grow. And the bigger her hat got, the bigger the flower got, the more shriveled up and deteriorated her face got, until it literally melted off right before my eyes. And I woke up, but I couldn't move. And I just had nothing else to do but stare around my room as like this ringing went on and off in my ears. I can always tell that like right before I'm about to have sleep paralysis, there's a ringing that happens right before my ears. It's like I'm crossing between this realm of being awake and asleep at the same time. We all do it. Every time we go to bed, we transition from being awake to sleep. And I always get caught in the middle. And I can hear that ringing, like something's about to happen. It's like a warning. And I've had sleep paralysis for so many nights after that. But I've never had a dream with it other than that old lady. It's always been just me frozen. That didn't stop until I was about 17. But that's the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Wow.
Dang. It's like creepypasta right there.
Well, guys, thank you for listening to our last Halloween wavy cast, spooky cast. So real quick, we're all going to sign off. Go ahead.
I'm Josh.
I'm Prison Riley.
Spencer.
I'm gonna need to watch some Happy Towns after this. Alright, it's Gable Hill.
And it's Big Mike. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast this spooky season. And enjoy the rest of your spooky season at home or whether with us. Peace out.